This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Now at 11, crooks making off with a motorcycle. How a local homeowner is hoping this surveillance video can help get his bike back. And an Indiana home blown completely apart. Tonight, hear from neighbors who survived this deadly explosion. Plus, the race is ready. Now we know who's in the Indy 500 and who's out. The news at 11 starts right now. And we begin with Storm Team 6, and those strong storms from earlier have ended, leaving a mess across the area. This picture that you see right there, taken on the west side of Indianapolis by firefighters. Tonight, we look ahead to a dry and cool start to the work week. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts is here with the forecast. Hey, Kyle.
And good evening to you, Trevor. Things have really calmed down from where we were earlier this evening. You see all these dots representing wind gusts of about 60 miles per hour and also some tree damage, also some power lines down. We had some outages throughout the evening, especially near and north of Interstate 70. But here's Storm Team 6 radar for you now, and you can see those thunderstorms down around Cincinnati pushing into Kentucky. So it is going to be a much calmer night of weather for us. Still a little bit of water out there on the lens after those storms came through with some torrential downpours. 63 right now in downtown. You're at 66 in Kokomo and 62 in Bloomington. Winds are still out of the west-southwest, but they are going to turn more westerly during the overnight, and that will start to bring in some cooler temperatures by tomorrow morning. Lower to middle 50s, so you might want that jacket first thing as you head out the door, but we are going to be nice and dry for your drive into work. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 50s with that sunrise at 6:27. We'll take you through the rest of your Monday in just a few minutes.
I looked outside to see if I see my bike on my cameras, and I didn't see it on my camera, so I stepped outside and looked, and it was gone.
And new at 11, an Indianapolis man needs your help to get his motorcycle back. Tonight, he tells RTV6's Derek Thomas the motorcycle was swiped out of his driveway around 4 o'clock this morning. Now he's hoping surveillance video will lead to an arrest.
This is a 2011 Kawasaki motorcycle that was stolen. Victor Williams Jr. says it's worth about $7,500. It was parked outside his garage. He had ridden it that day and fell asleep on the couch and never put it inside the garage. Under the cloak of darkness, two thieves seized the opportunity. You can see them on the surveillance cameras approach the motorcycle and be about the business of stealing it. The owner is livid.
From a 0 to 10, I'll say about a 12. That's how ticked off I am. It ain't right, just to take somebody else's stuff. I worked hard for that.
His neighbor says he is now on alert.
Well, before I didn't lock up. I was just kind of, now it's just, I guess, lock up. Just make sure, just be a little more cautious because things are happening now. It's warm out.
Do you feel bad for your neighbor if something like that?
I completely do. I mean, he does work hard for his money, and next thing you know, they just come up and roll his motorcycle out like it's nothing.
Williams Jr. spent a large portion of the day on a one-man mission to find the motorcycle himself.
I got a call from a buddy who said he thought he seen it on Southeastern, so I went out there and checked those neighborhoods. I checked all my neighborhood, and I've been everywhere.
Unfortunately, the motorcycle was not insured. Williams Jr. said he was going to make an insurance payment on Tuesday. We now know that was too late.
I got a lot of money into that bike, and that's after my kids and my wife. That's the next best thing. It's my bike. So I am a materialistic person, but I love that bike.
If you recognize the two men in the video, you're asked to call police at IMPD's Southwest District. Williams Jr. just wants his motorcycle back. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
All right, well, the excitement of Indy 500 qualifying went down to the final lap on Sunday. Fans and drivers had to wait more than 4 hours, though, because of a rain delay. But after that, there was plenty of drama that played out once those cars got rolling. Take a look. The fastest run of the day belonged to Simon Pagenaud. Now, last weekend, he won the Grand Prix race on the road course. This Sunday, he turned 3 of his 4 laps at over 230 miles an hour. Now, his final time was 0.07 of a second faster than all the rest. That's all it took to get him into the pole position. It's the first Indy 500 pole of his career. Now, he'll be joined in the front row by Ed Carpenter and Spencer Pigot. Spencer had the final qualifying run of the day, but was unable to knock Simon from the top spot. Afterwards, RTV6's Brad Brown caught up with the pole winner.
was harder, the drive or the waiting at the end there?
The waiting. The drive is okay. You're alone in there. You're just executing and doing what you have to do. But, you know, a lot of it is the car. It's Team Penske is amazing at giving you the best equipment. So it's the best day of my life so far. Yet, right?
And earlier in the day, 6 drivers battled for the final 3 spots in the field. The big shocker, longtime fan favorite Fernando Alonso getting bumped on the last run of the day. The Mega Million-dollar McLaren racing team was unable to get into the top 30 after 5 chances on day 1. Today, Alonso made it to the end, only to be passed by a rookie. Now, the final run of the day was by rookie Kyle Kaiser, driving for Juncos Racing. Kaiser crashed on Friday as teams spent the rest of the weekend getting another car ready. It was a close run, but it was enough. A massive upset at the back of the field. Dave First caught up with Kaiser after his amazing run into the Indy 500.
I mean, big picture, Juncos just knocked out McLaren at the Indy 500.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That is crazy, and that just shows what this place is about. Nobody's safe, no matter what your budget is, what your resources are. It takes heart, and I'm not saying they didn't have heart because I know they put everything they had into this as well. But
this team does.
We gave it all we had, and we had the day today.
Now, the other big story in the last row, James Hinchcliffe earning a spot in the field. You'll recall Hinch crashed yesterday. His team put together a backup car, though. He'll be able to start 32nd after missing the race last year. And Sage Karam also made it into row 11. There will be another practice session on Monday. The field of 33 will be able to take laps from noon until 2 p.m. That'll be their last chance to run until Carb Day. That happens on Friday. And switching gears right now, 1 person is dead and 2 others injured after a house exploded early this morning in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Now, that's in the far southern part of the state, just across the river from Louisville. The home was completely obliterated. Authorities say between 12 and 15 other houses were seriously damaged. Neighbors say when the blast happened, they weren't sure what to think. One man even wondering if something crashed into his house.
It was a big boom with the concussion you could feel in your chest, and the whole house just shook. I mean, it just shook, raised up, and I mean, rattled the windows, knocked the gutter off the back of my house. And I thought somebody fell in the house, but I ran out, and I thought somebody hit the house. And I ran outside and looked, nobody hit the house.
Jeffersonville fire investigators haven't said anything about the conditions of the other 2 people injured. The investigation is still underway, and so far authorities haven't released any more information on what may have caused that explosion. And Indianapolis Metro Police say a motorcycle driver was killed early this morning in Fountain Square. The accident also left 1 other person seriously injured. It happened around 3 a.m. in the 1500 block of Shelby Street. So far, police haven't identified either victim nor said anything else about what caused that crash. And an autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow on a baby found dead inside of an SUV on Saturday. Police were called out to an auto zone in the 3800 block of East Washington Street. The baby was unresponsive when emergency crews got there, and sadly that baby later died at Riley Hospital. The child's mother was taken in for questioning. And Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg is taking a jab at President Trump's Twitter tirades. The Indiana native and South Bend mayor says he understands why people are mesmerized by the president's tweets, comparing them to grotesque things that people find hard to ignore. Buttigieg made those comments at a town hall today in New Hampshire. He was responding to Trump's tweets earlier today, comparing Buttigieg to Alfred P. Newman, the famed Mad Magazine character. Well, get ready, gamers. Gen Con is on its way back, and it's time right now to get your tickets. Registration for the massive convention is currently open for generic tickets, entry badges, and event sign-up. Now, for those of you who are not in the know, Gen Con is an annual convention for all things gaming, from table games to role-playing and card-based games. It'll be back in Indianapolis from August 1st until the 4th, and if you want more information, we've got that for you online. You can just head over to our website, theindychannel.com, or the RTV6 News app. Well, coming up, we're finally hearing from a hero coach who stopped a potential school shooter. His incredible actions, the police say, likely saved a whole lot of lives. Plus, we continue to look back on the history of WRTV6 as we approach our 70th anniversary. Tonight, we're catching up with former anchor Clyde Lee, hearing what he says was the best part of the job.
Rain chances set to return by the middle of the week and last a few days. I'll let you know if that's going to be a trend into race day weekend. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Great American Sales Event won't last.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Well, tonight we're hearing from an Oregon high school coach about his heroic actions last week. That's when police say he tackled an armed student, that he prevented a potential bloodbath on campus. Today he spoke exclusively with ABC News. Here's Whit Johnson with some of that interview.
In the terrifying moments at this Portland, Oregon high school as a student roamed the halls with this shotgun, Keenan Lowe says instinct immediately kicked in.
I lunged for the gun, and I'm just trying to make sure that the end of the gun isn't pointing towards where the students are running, but also not pointed at myself.
In an exclusive interview with ABC News, Park Rose High School's football coach and security guard describes seeing 18-year-old Angel Diaz walk into a classroom Friday afternoon.
He didn't know I was in that room when he opened the door, and you know, I think there's things in my life that have happened that, you know, I think have prepared me for that very moment.
Students running for cover, the school put on lockdown.
Everybody just started panicking more, like people were crying and people like shaking.
As Lowe put some of the skills he teaches on the field into heroic action, tackling Diaz to the ground, holding him there until police arrived.
I ended up getting the gun from him, you know, getting the gun with my right hand and holding him off with my left hand and calling for a teacher to come grab the gun from me. And I was able to, you know, make something good out of something that could have been very, very tragic.
Diaz now faces several charges, including attempting to discharge a firearm at a school and reckless endangerment. He's expected in court Monday, while Lowe will be back at school with the students he helped save.
I thank God that no one got hurt, and, you know, thank God that I was in that room.
Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And as we look back this month on 70 years of broadcast history here at Channel 6, we're catching up with the people who've brought you the news since it all started back on May 30th, 1949. One of those people is Clyde Lee. He arrived at Channel 6 in 1976, quickly making a name for himself as a trusted journalist on the anchor desk. But he also loved reporting, especially health stories. In fact, he had a regular segment called Medical Matters.
I think my favorite stories, or my favorite aspect of the business, in addition to anchoring, was doing the medical beat. And I think one reason I liked it so much is because it gave me an opportunity to put information out there that people really, truly could use. You know, one of the things that I'm proudest of is that we did screenings. We did colorectal screenings, occult blood in the stool, and we also did screenings for skin cancer. They were free. And I got calls and letters from people afterwards that would say, you know, if it hadn't been for your stories, I might not have found out about this. So that was a great thing, you know. That just made me feel terrific that we had a mission bigger than just doing the news, you know, that we could actually make a difference in people's lives and maybe make them healthier. So I loved the medical beat, and I love doing stories like that.
And on May 30th, you'll get to see Clyde again along with Dion Willis as they anchor our 1-hour anniversary special at 7 p.m. It's called 70 Years Together, RTV6 Working for You. We sure hope you'll be able to join us that night. And if you've been saving old items in the hopes that they might be worth something someday, the story's for you. Annie Taylor shows you what you can keep and what you can go ahead and throw out.
We have some pretty rare stretch wrestlers from 1987.
From action figures, plush toys, and pop culture memorabilia, 5280's totally awesome shop in Denver transports you back into another decade.
That's going to be about $300 for that set there.
You're probably saying to yourself, I had that, or that might be in my garage. But only some collectibles are worth a small fortune.
Star Wars, again, I'd mentioned, is always collectible. You know, it's always going to hold its value.
Shop co-owner Tony Vecchio says, look out for TV dolls, Stretch Armstrongs, comic books, Clash of the Titans action figures, oh, and Don't be too quick to throw out Beanie Babies. Depending on the year, they go up and down in value.
Anytime you can find boxes for original items, that's going to increase the value of these.
Rick Goldschmidt has been collecting for over 20 years.
The problem with a lot of collecting is people collect things that are mass produced in the thousands, and they think that's going to be worth something, 10, 15 years later.
His top tip on what to keep and what to throw out?
If you're looking to get value out of it years later, it's got to be something scarce or one of a kind.
Preferably less than 1,000 made. Both Rick and Tony say if you want to sell a collector's item, start with eBay. Find out how much the item sold for and price from there. You might have a few rare collectible items that you could sell on eBay for a couple $100s, but the memory of the item, like a 90210 Barbie doll, that might be more valuable than the actual item itself. I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
And something else tonight, we know we all need to protect our skin when we go outside, but it turns out your sunscreen might not be good enough. Environmental Working Group is an organization that looked at more than 1,000 different sunscreens, and researchers determined that only a third would actually pass safety tests. Some just didn't provide adequate sun protection, and others contain potentially harmful chemicals. 2 ingredients experts say every great sunscreen should have are zinc oxide and titanium oxide.
Just about all of us had to deal with some of these thunderstorms earlier in the evening, and one of those thunderstorms prompted a tornado warning. No warnings in effect now, but you can see some drone video here from Mike Dobbinspec as he was scanning the skies there and seeing some of those downpours and additional thunderstorms off in the distance. Didn't have any confirmation of any touchdown from that, but we certainly had some gusty winds with those storms. Temperatures right now in the lower to middle 60s. It's 63 in downtown, 65 in Lafayette, but it is much cooler as we look off to the north and west. We've got temperatures almost in the 30s in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now. We're not going to get quite that cool, but this cooler air is going to be sliding into central Indiana tonight, down into the middle 50s with mostly cloudy skies. Not going to have to worry about any additional rain or thunderstorms as those winds will turn out of the west, and that west breeze will keep us cool all throughout the day on Monday with partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies here. Our temperature at 11 a.m. upper 50s for you. We'll get into the lower and middle 60s as we head through the afternoon, and temperatures may not get out of the 50s for parts of northern central Indiana. 58 for you in Kokomo and Marion, lower 60s in Anderson at 62 degrees. Same for you in Petersburg. We'll find those temperatures kind of split near I-70. A little bit cooler for you in the lower 60s in Crawfordsville. Meanwhile, 66 in Martinsville, Shelbyville, and Indianapolis, and close to 70 degrees. So really not too bad of an afternoon for you in Seymour at 69, Columbus at 67, and Spencer a pair of 6s. Well, we just talked about the sunscreen. That is going to be important tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Even though it's going to be cool, that's still some powerful sunshine out there. We have the UV index very high at a 9, so that SPF 30 or better every couple of hours if you're going to be out there working outside or just spending some time enjoying the cooler temperatures. We've got numbers that will get a little bit warmer on Tuesday. We'll still keep several clouds around, but also another dry day for us as temperatures make their way to around 70 for the afternoon high. Next chance for rain, well, here we go. This is Wednesday early in the morning at 4 a.m. You can see that rain overspreading the area. Should move through pretty quickly, though. As we look into the second half of Wednesday, things are drying out once again, but occasional rain, shower, and thunderstorm chances are back in the 7-day planning forecast as those temperatures climb to 80 degrees Wednesday afternoon. We're close to 90 by the end of the week. 87 for you there on Thursday, Friday at 88. And as we look toward next weekend, it's a big one. Well, we got 85 on Saturday, 84 for race day right now, but each of those days can't rule out the chance for a shower or storm.
This is like the one week of the year we're all hedging our bets.
Everybody's watching that one. Yeah, so we got some time,
keeping our fingers crossed. It could change.
We'll work it out.
So, all right, thanks, Kyle. Well, coming up, Dave First with another edition of our May series, 2 for the Road. This time it's our driver analyst, Tony Kanaan, along for the ride. That's all ahead when the news at 11 continues.
At Ross, yes for less.
Well, Well, it's a celebration that Roger Penske has enjoyed many times. His race team claiming their 18th pole for the Indy 500. This time it was driver Simon Pagenaud outdueling Ed Carpenter for the right to lead the field 1 week from today. Dave First and Tony Kanaan broke it all down during the news at 6 today, but tonight they look into some unanswered questions. It's called Two for the Road.
Go, go, Garfield. In this installment of Two for the Road, we've got the 2004 Series champ, 2013 Indy 500 champion, and a 17-time winner in the NTT IndyCar Series. We're talking about Tony Kanaan, who loves a good pastry.
Two for the Road, sponsored by Indiana Farmers Insurance.
Nice ride.
Huh? What do you think?
I call an Uber.
Do you like the kitty cat on the side? Garfield?
Garfield. I know. My kids will love this car. Can I have it for the month?
Your given name is
Antoine. Riscala Kanaan Filho, which is Junior. I have my dad's name.
TK is much shorter.
It's a lot simpler to say. And actually, Dan Weldon was the one that brought the TK. On the data for the race car, when we print the data, they just put your initials. So he was DW, I was TK, so he started TK, and became TK.
Could you imagine being in an autograph line and having to sign your given name?
No, but that was something that Dad, I was 8 when I started racing, so my dad said, listen, we have a long name. I said, well, that's your fault. He said, no, it's my dad's fault. I said, well, but he gave it to me. He made me practice my autograph when I was 9 years old, which is still the same as of today.
Wow.
So, it was Tony Kanaan.
Biggest cheers at Indy still happen when you go to the front.
I love it. I can't hear it, but I love it.
It's pretty special.
I mean, driver's intro is pretty special for me. I got to thank the fans. We built an awesome fan base here, and, pretty cool.
If and when fortunate enough to win Indy again, that you would do something that you didn't get a chance to do in 13.
A celebration needs to be natural.
Right.
I don't look back at 13 and say, oh, I should have celebrated this way or that way. It has to be something that comes out when you're in the moment. I will definitely have my kids there this time, and I will celebrate with them. Have you been here, dude?
No, you've been here before, right?
Yeah, I'm friends with them. When we promoted Rev, we came here, and such a cool place.
This place is fantastic.
You gotta taste some of this stuff.
Look at all this.
This is our signature, the chocolate pillow. This was the first dessert that...
This is called a chocolate pillow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a big bite.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Be ready for a nap after this.
Chocolate pillow? I'm gonna go to my pillow. Then I'm gonna take a nap.
Good luck on race day, buddy.
Thank you. Guys, come check it out.
Tony Kanaan, Two for the Road, here on RTV6.
It's the best thing ever.
Only on RTV6.
We could say a Richmond police officer is getting good grades for attendance at a local elementary school there. Officer Tim Davis has been making frequent visits to recess, stopping by to chat with kids about a whole range of different topics. A second-grade teacher at the school captured one of those moments, which has since been making the rounds online.
Very cool, and they certainly enjoy it. You can tell
looks
there.
like they do.
Tomorrow, nice day for the kids to get out and enjoy some of the nice weather. We're going to dry things out here for a couple of days, but shower and thunderstorm chances, you know, they're not too far away this time of year. They will be back on Wednesday, so maybe get the yard work done the next couple of days, and then it's going to be a little bit steamy, too. By Thursday and Friday, we're talking about highs in the 80s.
And keeping our fingers crossed that race day's good.
Yes.
All right, thank you, and thank you for watching. That's going to do it for us tonight. Good Morning Indiana starts at 4:30 a.m. Have a great night.